What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking with Nate from Season 4 of Sequester. We have a really awesome guest today. Nate, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Although I would be better if the person that went home last night didn't go home.
Yeah,
So
we definitely have to talk about that because we had no idea what was going on.
no, I am so sad.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about so this is Survivor. We're going to be talking about Millennials versus Gen X episode 2. So this is Random Podcast, and we are going to be talking about day 5. So we're on day 5. Cece and David are on the outs because, David did
It's
what he did
paranoid.
last.
Yeah.
Very paranoid, yes. And
PC needs
Cece
to
got votes. Yeah, Cece just got those votes, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm not in the ends at all." And yeah, so they talk about that, and David. So we saw that Zeke last episode made fire, and he contributed to the team very well. And now we're seeing
Yeah.
David take one for the stand, and it seems like he's kind of getting back on that trail a little bit. Trying to get into the ends. And how do you feel about David right now?
I don't like his chances. However, I like the fact that he aligned himself with Ken. What's really going to save them, though, like Ken is going to be the one that lasts the longest out of the three, CC himself and David. But like they need a switch. Like they honestly need a switch for Ken and David to make it farther. I can see things turning around pretty quickly, though. That's going to be interesting. I think Jessica. I'm seeing Jessica, and I'm like, she might flip. I think. So that's
Jessica, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Chris and his what do you call it? Confessionals? Is that Survivor term of DR?
Yeah, confessional or just like their moments or whatever.
So Chris is saying that he's pretty much just using David to get further in the game.
Yeah.
Scumbag move, but I guess it makes sense.
It's all fair in the game, and it's like I kind of feel bad for David because David's trying so hard to like just prove himself and that he can do things. I mean, he started the fire, which is usually a big event, and then Chris on the side is like, "Yeah, we don't care that he started the fire."
Exactly.
We're just like, "Yeah, thanks, but we're gonna get you out anyway."
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where Ken actually comes in pretty useful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ken definitely becomes useful.
And I think is later.
And if so, let's talk about before that though, because we have a big important thing we have to talk about. David actually finds the immunity idol, so that's pretty big.
That is huge, and like the fact that it was in a coconut and it was just like a symbol on the coconut. Like I remember an interview and he's like, "Oh yeah, the immunity idols are going to be harder to find." I'm like, "You put a damn purple symbol on a coconut just in the middle of the woods. How is no one going to notice that?" I think it was hard.
I'm just happy that he got the immunity idol.
Oh yeah, me too. That's going to shake things up later, and I can't wait to see how that works out. Like,
yeah,
that'd be great.
All right, so let's talk about the Taylor and Figgy romance. So I don't know. I feel like it was bound to happen. So what's her name? Michaela? Is that her name?
Yeah, Michaela. Yeah, Michaela's my new favorite.
Michaela. Yeah,
she's great.
So Michaela is overhearing them like making out and stuff, and now Zeke's saying that they're not playing Survivor. Jay is with them. Jay's in this alliance, Triforce alliance, with them, and he's saying like this is stupid. Why are they doing this? Like it's making their game terrible, and I kind of agree.
It's working out for them though, which is the weirdest thing. Like before this episode, I was thinking there are so many shades in like of this that it's like not shades, like parallels to this tribe to Survivor Caramoan. Well, we had the Pretty People Alliance, which was I think it was Allie, Hope, Eddie and Reynold, and they were like they kind of like secluded themselves from the rest of the group, and the rest of the group is like those four are going to stick together, and if we don't do something about it, they're just going to pick us off, which Mari and Hannah noticed last episode, but it was like it completely flipped, and it's so weird. Now it's like Micronesia when we had Parvati, Amanda, Ozzy, and James together. It's completely like that now. They're not as smart as that group, but like you're seeing that same power shift now where they're just in control. Michelle is amazing in that group, and she's the reason why they're still there, honestly.
Right, 100%. I agree. So let's talk about Ken. We were talking about Ken earlier, and Ken finds an octopus, and he says in his confessional that he's very shy, which, I mean, is kind of parallel to David.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they're working together, which I didn't expect to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially those two are like complete polar opposites.
I think at first glance they're polar opposites, but I think like once you see them like working with each other, like and conversating, you can start to see the social similarities where they like while Ken is like very physically fit, he doesn't really always get the social cues. I think it was in like his interview or whatever where he kind of like removed himself from society, where David kind of did that too. Like he kind of all he does is just write all day, and that's all he does. Like
Yeah.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, they're completely different, but I think mentally, or socially at least, they're the same person.
100% agree. So David obviously trusts Ken to the point where he tells him that, hey, I have an immunity idol. And this can work out both beneficial to them, because if they are working together and people do vote out David and David plays the immunity idol, then it will flip-flop.
Yeah.
Which is good.
The way I see it happening is that Ken clearly doesn't like the Six. I think he just doesn't like Paul that much, and it's gonna be very interesting to see if Paul gets out because of this idol, what Ken does, because he's really the one that's in the middle. He's the one that has the most power in that tribe, despite the Six being control the votes. Technically, Ken has all of the information, so really Ken is going to be the key piece in swinging, okay, when is the correct time to use the idol? So because he's still in with the Sixes are probably going to tell Ken like, hey, this is how you should vote, because they're going to want to keep him around. They want him to trust them, so like if they get switched up, Ken's still there for them.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Paul says he wants to be in control, and we just talked about Paul. Like, he wants Paul out, period. He's a big player. He should not be like he's pretty much being like the control person, and he even says that he can't help it. And what happens to Paul is he starts getting a heart attack, and he's fine now.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a few days, so he's been fine. He's able to compete into the.
I mean, he was able to beast through that challenge pretty well, so I think.
Yeah, he's fine now.
He recovered really quickly, but like. Paul is just like, I think honestly that Scare only solidified himself more in the tribe. Like typically when you see people get injured, they like are the people they want to kind of push aside, or like you're probably going to be next. But it just helped Paul like solidify. Like it's almost like a badge of honor, like a scar that they like respect. Like oh my gosh, you survived something that's almost life threatening. Like just we bow down to you, and it's like. It's just insane. Why would you want to keep someone in the game like that? That just makes him a bigger threat.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like, you don't keep someone like that around. Period.
Yeah, and what's mind-boggling to me is that like David is on the bottom, and like he was the only one that we saw looking for an idol. Like I think Jessica might be the more aware person, like in terms of like, okay, I need to be seeing where the idols are. But I think the group in general, like especially Brett, Chris, and Paul, they're just like, oh, we don't need to do anything. I think they're gonna get blindsided pretty hard soon. So that's gonna be interesting to watch. And we're frozen again.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good now. I can hear you.
Okay. I think it was my connection or something. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, so back where we were talking about, let's just go into the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So going into this challenge, they need to find keys, they need to swim underwater, they need to lock these rings around this pool area.
Basic obstacle course.
Yeah.
Except just in the water. And like honestly, I was like some specific people surprised me. I don't think the results surprised me as much, but like Sunday beasted that challenge last night. Like she really shocked me and showed us that she is a physical competitor, which is nuts given her age and like just at first glance, she doesn't look like she could really keep up. And then on the flip side, you have Jay just completely just dropping the ball at the end of the challenge, and his name didn't even come up. But I think that's understandable considering he's one of the guys and he's physically fit. But like, I think honestly, this is going to be a big blow to the Millennials' ego, because if the Millennials had just got blown out of the water, like if they had gotten maybe like had they barely gotten to the rings by the time the Gen Xers did, they were like, okay, then well, that just wasn't our challenge. Next time it will be our challenge. There'll be a puzzle, like we can take it. But because it was so close, that's just got to be so like mentally just exhausting to think about later, because like we had it, and like now they know that the Gen Xers can beat them at their best. So it's just like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, they had it. The Millennials did pretty good until, Ken started beasting the rings, proving that he is a very well asset to his team.
Oh, yeah. Ken's not going anywhere soon.
So let's talk genuinely. And we're going to talk about, so Figgy is in the hot spot. So she's obviously people's targets because of this whole thing about, she has an showmance, and even, trying to get the name right, Michaela, whatever how you pronounce her name, was like not having any good vibes for her. They were having a verbal argument. It seemed like things are starting to flip-flop. And it seems like Michelle is playing the game. It seems like Michelle's the one controlling shit. And it's great.
Michelle is like Parvati, I think, this season. She manipulated the game very well tonight. I think she, in terms of power rankings, Michelle is in control of her tribe. She had all the votes. She knew who to talk to. They left people in the dark on purpose, so they have people they can get rid of. Like, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna get rid of Zeke. I think Adam's the more likely target. But which makes me sad because Adam's actually a really funny person. But it's just that, like, I think that like she is just golden, at least until a switch, which is going to be it's incredible.
Yeah, I know.
So the way that she handled Tribal was perfect too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So before Tribal happens, let's go on what specifics. So Jay tells Michaela that Zeke wants her out. That's a lie.
Yeah,
that's a lie. And guess what?
That was a lie.
Guess what? She believes it. She believes it. And Michelle wants Mari out. But the thing about this, with Jay's also, other than Michelle, he's actually a really good manipulator too. Because not only did he lie to Michaela, but he made it so that Figgy was in the conversation too, to make it seem like they weren't connected with each other.
Yeah.
Like Figgy and Michaela were there together, and he was the one that was initiating it. Like, look, Zeke is coming after both you two, which Figgy knows is not the truth.
I don't know if Jay is like that. I think that's a bit overstating how good Jay is, honestly, just because I think he was just a mediator. I think he's really good with social cues and like being able to try to mend relationships. As far as a manipulator goes, I think that I don't think he's that as good. I think that more had to do with Michelle overall, honestly, because she was the one that was able to convince Will. She talked to Hannah at Tribal Council, and even if Michaela hadn't gone with the vote, which would have been stupid of Michaela, because if she didn't, she would definitely be the next person to go. Like, they flipped Hannah, and therefore now Hannah will probably be safe, or at the very least might have her head on the chopping block, and that's somebody else they can get rid of. But I think, honestly, tonight was Michelle's night, and Jay was just kind of playing second fiddle a little bit. And just
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, I think Michelle was the big person behind the whole scenes, and then Jay was just the second person running up with them. I agree with what you're saying.
Jay was more vocal for sure, I think, just because he clearly he did not want his alliance to go. I think Michelle played it smarter than Jay. Jay was a little bit more public with where he was moving things, whereas Michelle was kind of using him. As you saw, Tribal, she deferred to Jay and was just like, Jay, we're voting this way, right? And he's like, yeah, we're voting this way. And in that way, it doesn't make Michelle look like the mastermind, which is great.
Yeah. So let's talk about Tribal Council, because he's a straight shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And we're frozen again.
Was Michaela. Michaela's a straight shooter.
Yes.
So I'm saying that Michaela's a straight shooter, and she's saying that she doesn't really like Figgy that much in tribal council, which again is manipulation
It's
on
manipulation,
Michaela's
yeah.
part.
She,
And
like,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Michaela's a good actor. I think she knows herself very well. Like, that's the thing. She knows how to play off how people perceive her already and then just completely turn the tables, which is a great attribute to have. She's a straight shooter, but she's also, like, very deviant at the same time, which is, it was great to see her do that, honestly. It shows that she's not just, like, going to say whatever comes out of her head.
Yeah. So let's talk about the votes because a lot of people were shitting their pants. So the vote was
Yeah, 7-3.
right?
Yeah.
7-3. Okay. And the people that voted for Figgy to leave was Adam, Zeke,
And Mari.
Mari.
Yeah.
Now, I had a feeling it was probably going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be Mari, to be honest with you. I thought maybe it would have been someone else. But, yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. Like, Mari was a favorite to win, and I think they kind of sense that. And the fact that she's a gamer, like, already gives her a bit of an edge for like her game. People see that, and they're like, she's a gamer. She knows how to think logically, which is, again, a great attribute to have. But if people know you have it, then that's a problem. Like with Zeke and Adam on the bottom, I find it very interesting that they didn't talk to Adam or Zeke before they talked to Michaela. Because I think Michaela is somebody you can argue to flip on easier than Adam or Zeke. Because Adam or Zeke are arguably more useful in challenges and arguably better to have around the camp than Michaela is.
Right.
So and then the Hannah thing comes in where like that's another person that could possibly just flip all the votes onto because she flipped and it was so obvious that she flipped.
Yeah. And it's also I don't see Hannah honestly making it far after this because Hannah and I keep forgetting everyone's name. Mari, right? Is that her name?
Mari and Hannah were really close, and by extension, Adam and Zeke were close with Hannah. And Hannah just completely flipped on them at the last second. So they're going to be angry at her next time, and they're going to blow up. And Hannah's not a hot commodity for the tribe. She's not someone. I mean, she sat out the challenge. They don't necessarily need her for the challenges. She's a little awkward around camp. Like nothing against her. I just don't think she's going to fit in well going forward.
And that's what we kind of said in the cast analysis that she stands out from her tribe. Period. She's not really. I mean, we've seen her like do stuff around camp, but not enough to click with the rest of the people. There's 9 people left on their tribe, so
like and even Mari was just kind of like standoffish a little bit last night, where she was just like Mari was arguably the closest person to Hannah, and she said that like, oh, Hannah's just being Hannah, and it's like, well, that's not really a compliment to Hannah. Like, you're not even going to question the fact that she might flip because she was literally cornered by Jay and Michelle.
Yeah.
And Jay, is close with Taylor and Figgy. So it's like
right, exactly. Yeah. So Mari leaves by a 7-3 vote. And let's talk about let's just go into predictions.
Yeah.
So next episode, what do you think is gonna happen if Gen X loses?
If Gen X loses, the fact that like David would need to pretend that he doesn't have the idol for sure. Oh, we're frozen again. Okay, I'm good now. But yeah, he's gonna have to pretend he doesn't have the idol for sure. He's gonna have to keep pretending that he's paranoid. If he wants any luck of moving forward, he's gonna have to grab CC. He's gonna have to keep Ken in his corner and just be like, hey, like, I'm still paranoid. I still think I'm going home. I'm going to keep looking for the idol, even though he already has it, and hope everyone puts votes on him. So, like, that's the only way he's going to be able to disrupt anything. Otherwise, he's just going to have to hope and pray that CC gets the votes over him, which I don't really see that happening considering the fact that the Gen Xers are very much challenge-oriented, and CC is arguably better in the challenges than David. So, yeah.
Okay, so what happens if Millennials lose?
The Triforce plus whatever, how many people are on their side now, I think they're still going to be in control for sure. I see Hannah going home. I really do. Just because it's Zeke and Adam. Like, yes, they're on the bottom, but they're not in danger.
Yeah.
By any means, as long as they don't like just completely remove themselves from the rest of the tribe, like they should be just fine. Like that, or as long as they don't get ridiculously paranoid and pull a David. However, like when Adam and Jay said, like, you don't get into a showmance, that's a Big Brother rule. You don't win if you're in a showmance in Big Brother. In Survivor, showmances are a little different. Like showmances tend to go much farther. I mean, at Rob and Amber, season 8, they went all the way to the final 2. Micronesia, Ozzy and Amanda. Amanda almost won season 16. We had a showmance in season 15. It was Eric and Jamie, and both of them made it to the merge. Unfortunately, Jamie was painted as some sort of mastermind, and they eliminated her. And then you had a couple like little flirtmances here and there, but like in general, you see the showmances of Survivor be very, very successful because people see them as a number, and the game is longer in general. So in terms of how many people are getting eliminated, so showmances are a hot commodity, and people really want to be working with these people because they know, like, oh, if I'm the third with this person, then one, they're targeting the showmance, not me. And if we get into a final 3 situation, I'm still making the final 3, and I still have a good chance to win. So it's just like, yeah, like the fact that people are railing on them, like they're going to be in power for a while, at least until a switch.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I guess that's it right now. I mean, I kind of agree with you. Like everything that you said about your predictions is same thing. I think Hannah's gonna leave if Millennials lose. So I guess that's it. That covers up Survivor episode 2 recap. Millennials versus Gen X. Nate, hopefully we'll have you back on again. It'd be really awesome getting to have your perception on Survivor because you obviously know more than me and Paul do from by a landslide.
I'll be happy to return.
All right, guys. This has been Reality Room Podcast with Chris and Nate. And until next time, guys. See ya, guys.